That bit was just for you, Andy. Welcome to vlog number 12. Right, so this, like last video, is going to be a bit of padding because it's been a bad couple of weeks and I haven't got much done, and on top of the personal problems I alluded to in the last video, I have been ill. But I will be, well, I am not ill now finally, and I'm going back to my regular job tomorrow. You'll get more of these videos in my days off, which is when I film them. Right. So what I thought I'd do is waste time in this video by... No, okay. What I thought I'd do is show you a few things I've not shown you before, that I've been doing sort of just before I started doing the vlogs, and sort of little aside projects that I didn't really think were worth showing you, but now for some reason I do. That came out badly. Right, so let's start with something I did just before I started the vlogs. Let's remove the 12. You know what number it is by now. So this, and this one that didn't quite go as well, are summoning circles, magic circles I did, inspired by the ones that appear in the 2016 game Doom, which is a very good game. And yeah, they got these sort of summoning circles which summon hordes of demons into a room or an area in the game, and I thought, you know what, I could do that to my players. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, I got a bit of that texture wallpaper I've been using for bases recently, and I stuck it to an old 50mm base, painted it with, well, painted the tiles up, and then painted a rather complex pentagram type thing on it based on the one that appears in Doom. Also, slightly croaky voice from being ill recently. So let's put that there. And let's use our evil powers to see what aberrations we can summon forth. Ah! There, look at that. I've got one special effect, and by God I'm going to use it. Right. This is a beholder type creature, which has a different name due to copyright reasons. It's an eye beast. It's that kind of creature. It's a beholder. I'm going to call it beholder in this, and this is made by Star Hat Miniatures. Shout out to Darcy, who sent me this. This is a very nice model, and I'm very pleased with it. So I painted it up based on the colour scheme for beholders in 5th edition D&D. And while everyone else has been painting that huge one WizKids do, I wanted a beholder that, one, fitted the size description given in most D&D manuals, which is it being a 5 to 6 foot round sphere, plus the tentacles. Whereas I feel those large beholders at popular moment are a bit out of scale. So yeah, this is it. I'm gonna take away the summoning circle. I've done that gag. There we go. Let's bring that a little bit forward, but not so far that it's out of focus. And I will rotate slowly. Yep, really nicely sculpted. Nice piece. And yeah, quite pleased with that. Good model. Haven't had a chance to use it in game yet because my party's still quite low level. Haven't really done any conversion work to it. I've sort of bent the eye tentacles around a bit. That's about it really. The base is one of those ones I do by sticking Mantic Dungeon Saga bases to the top of other bases. Looks quite nice. Looks quite good. Actually reminds me of the floor in the old dungeon crawler game Dungeon Master. Had that sort of look to it. Right, so, yep, Star Hat Miniatures. So, continuing that theme, here is the only thing I've managed to get done recently. Oh, did I wobble the camera? This is also from Star Hat Miniatures. This is a Fowlbear, which is, as you can see, a owlbear type creature with a chicken's head, but not duck feet or a woman's face. That may or may not be an obscure joke. I know someone will get that and have a little chuckle, and that's worth it. If you don't know about, try Googling it. I don't know if it'll work. Anyway, yeah, quite pleased how this came out. Went for a reddish brown, because chicken type colour for the fur, slash feathers. It looks more like fur than feathers on this one, and I'm good with that. Yep, reds, oranges, yellows. If I could be bothered, I'd make notes of exactly which colours I'd use, and I could pass this off as painting advice to people, but I haven't, and I don't, and I probably won't. Yeah, again, nice miniature. For the base on this one, so it has an integral base, and all I've done is stuck the integral base down to a Citadel. Are these 32mm bases? They invented a new base size just for themselves. Why they didn't just make it 30mm like some of the standard bases available? I don't know. Games Workshop always have to be different, don't they? Incidentally, I've noticed a single thumbs down on every single video where I say something about Games Workshop that isn't entirely complimentary, so expecting a single thumbs down on this video. Well done, whoever you are. Yep. You're totally bringing me down for all the bashing of Games Workshop and doing, oh... Yep, where was I? That rather went off on a tangent. Right, integral base, plastic base, green stuff to extend the detail of integral base. Matches up, not too badly. If you look carefully, you can see where the edge of the integral base is, but I don't see that as a problem. It doesn't quite match the base of that, because these sort of, should we call them cobblestones? They're more rounded and cobblestone-like than these sort of, I want to say crazy paving slabs. That does not sound very dungeony. It sounds like I'm on a gardening show. Probably, I don't know. Slabby bits, roundy bits. Bases. I feel the quality of this video is dropping by the second. Let's do a jump cut. Oh, and look what appeared. Cages of various kinds. Right, so let's start with the biggest. Actually, I'm not going to do them in size order or anything. Let's just go through them. Let's start with this one. Right, this is a bird cage. It is made from, is not quite the right word, it is a jewellery thing you can buy off eBay. All I did was, it normally got like a hollow bottom. I stuck a bit of card over it and painted it. Not bad, little bird cage. It'll be used in an upcoming scenario which requires a bird cage in one particular room. Right, and also here we have one of the new WizKids D&D miniatures. This cage obviously is a cage. And yep, this came with a base which I've not used because I think it's more useful without the base. Not really much to say about this one. It's big enough to fit a miniature inside. I need a miniature to put inside. I'm going to have to jump cut again. Here we go. So yeah, this is how big it is. So it's a fairly human-sized, standard human-sized miniature, and fits inside with plenty of space to spare, which is good because a lot of miniatures, unlike this one which I picked, tend to have their arms sticking out and swords and everything all over the place, and you can get bigger miniatures as well. Might just be able to fit a sort of monstrous type creature in here. I wonder if... No, I think it's going to not quite fit. I don't think the Fowlbear's going to... just if I turn it a bit, does the Fowlbear sit in there just about? I could probably get away with that in a game. It's a little awkward though. Right. So yeah, I could do that in a scenario if I wanted to. Have it in a cage. Anyway, that wasn't the point, and I'm running past the 10-minute mark now. I'm just going to go with it. I do what I think are going to be short videos, and they end up incredibly long because of all the padding I put in them by waffling on about nothing. Right, so, WizKids cage. Yep, pretty good. Can't think of anything else to say about that one. Okay, and we've done the little bird cage. Let's go on to this one. Now, some of you may recognise this as a old Major Knight miniature. From a Traps pack, which was also made by WizKids, and you'd be not entirely correct. This is from a toy set that blatantly recast things from Mage Knight and some Citadel sets. And I know this because I bought the toy set out of curiosity because the stuff looked like Mage Knight pieces. And yeah, the only way I can really tell the difference after this is painted is by dropping it like that. Now there was the detail on this corner here was sort of flattened, and there was a peg which I've cut off. I hope you can see that. If you've got your own actual genuine Mage Knight one, you'll see the difference. Sort of peg was put there to sit a little gargoyle on top of the cage, which was also a recast of a Mage Knight piece. Yeah, I imagine that company has had the shit sued out of them by now and has gone out of business, so you won't see these anymore, but that's where this came from. It's otherwise identical to the Mage Knight piece. Yep. It was yellow, in yellow plastic. I've repainted it. The Mage Knight one, incidentally, I think is in black plastic, and obviously it's been dry brushed silver. My one, yep, undercoated black and dry brushed in whatever the equivalent of Timbits is in the Coat d'Arms range. I think it's called Magic Metal. And then highlighted in some brass or bronze colour. I can't remember which one I used. Painting advice. I used some paints. Can't remember what they're called. And with this figure, and ones that stay clearly within their bases, this doesn't quite fit because the base is too big. Let's try. I've got some miniatures this sits over better than others. It's not too bad. I could get away with that if I needed to. So, yep, there we have it. I'm not centering things anymore, am I? Center frame is but a distant memory. Incidentally, so you know I always end up doing that. The camera, and by camera I mean my phone, which is what I filmed this on, which is why the quality is not brilliant. The camera is off-center when... Yeah, it's like I'm trying to point at the camera. Brilliant. The camera is off-center as far as the frame goes. So what I have in front of me is off-center compared to what's on the screen. So depending on whether I'm looking over the top of the screen to maneuver things more precisely, or looking through the screen to see what you're seeing, my frame of reference, my literal frame of reference, is off-center. That needed saying. We're coming up on 15 minutes now. 15 minutes. 15 minutes now, which is much longer than I intended to run by about 5 minutes. So here's all the stuff that was in this video. And focus is there. And goodbye!